In this video we are going to understand the concept of before test and after test. So let us go and create one more TestNG.xml file, and we are just going to create the TestNG.xml file with TestNG2.xml. And here similarly, like we created the XML suite for this, so we are going to create a new TestNG.xml suite, and we are going to add all the attributes which are present here. So for that, what we are going to do, we are just going to create the suite, and after creating the suite, we are having what here, we are having the test. Similarly, we are going to create the test and classes and class. So here we are going to go back and we are going to create test and then classes, and then we are going to have class. Now here we are just going to give the name as we have given here, so maybe we can just give the name something like Myntra tests for before test and after test. And here we are just going to give the test name, and the test name can be equals to before test and after test demo. Now here we are just going to call the package and the Java class test file. So we are just going to use it, like we are going to maybe use this one, and we are just going to use this. Now the thing is, once we are using before test and after test annotation, it is referring to this test, it is not referring to this test. We need to keep that in mind. Again, I want to repeat, once we are calling before test and after test, so this is referring to this test and it is not referring to these kind of test annotations. So with this, let us go and try executing the before test and after test annotation. Now what I will do, I will just go here and I will just create one more annotation, and I will just call it as before test. And here what I will do, I will just create a method public void before test, maybe setup. So we are not having any setup right now, so we are just going to create a simple sysout statement to demo the before test setup, and we are just going to print this. Now once the execution is started and this before test setup is done, after the test cases in this class are executed, I want to do something at the end of this execution. So I want to do something after tear down, whatever we want to do, we will just add this thing. So now what I will do, I will just create one more method and I will name it as after test. Now similarly, I will create the after test tear down, and since I don't have anything for tear down, so I will just print this thing. So yeah, So now if we run this thing, so if we go here, we have already created before test and after test method, and these things I want to say again. Let us go and run this thing first, and then we will see the result. So this is creating the setup for the first test case. It will execute the first test case. First test executed. Now it is going to execute the second test case, and second test case is also executed. Now this annotation that we have created here in my first TestNG program before test, it is related to this test, and similarly after test it is related to this test. It has nothing to do with these methods, it has nothing to do with this thing. So once we are triggering the TestNG.xml file and we are executing anything, and we have defined before test and after test method, it is going to consider the test from here. So before test is here and after test is here. So similarly, if we see, like, this is the suite that we have created, and these are the tests that we have created, right? So if we go here, and these are the class, right? So if we go here, at this level it is executing before test setup. So it is executing, it means to say that it is executing before test from here, and then after that it is executing after class setup. So the priority, what we can say is, the before test priority is high, and it will execute first if any of these annotations are given: before test and before class and before method. So this is going to execute first, then the second priority is for before class. Similarly, once for after test, let us go and see here, the after test is going to execute the last, and similarly after class it is going to execute in second last, and all the test method, then it is going to execute before method, and then it is going to execute the test, and then it is going to execute after method. So we need to keep in mind that the priority is different. If we are executing anything from the TestNG.xml file, for first it is going to execute before test, and then it is going to execute before class, and then it is going to execute before method, and then test, and then after method, and then after class, and then after test. So this is how the hierarchy is. So don't be confused like this test. If we are writing anything like before test, then it means before test means this test. No, it's not like that. It is related to TestNG.xml file. Hope you liked my video. See you in the next video. Thank you.